I don't know. Does that mean I know mystical magic? Yeah, I didn't think so. What if I did it with two hands? Yep. No. All right, gang. On a serious note, I am off to a late matinee screening this Friday to go check out the 14th Marvel Cinematic Universe film. That is Doctor Strange. And I don't know about you, I sure hope it's better than the first Doctor Strange movie. Am I right?
Wednesday, September 6th, reach into the unknown with Doctor Strange.
Do you believe in evil?
You're telling me you're a sorcerer?
Oh! What a piece of crap.
Don't defy me, Stephen, or I'll take my pleasure from you in another way.
John Mills is the power of good.
So Doctor Strange is actually a very old Marvel character. I mean, he was created in 1963 by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, so that puts him in contention with the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man for being in the pantheon of iconic Marvel characters. It's kind of amazing, and it's taken this long for him to make his silver screen debut. I think the casting of Benedict Cumberbatch is pretty intriguing. Like, I do like the Cumberbatch. Sometimes I think he has a penchant for flamboyantly theatrical acting, and I hate to say this, but sometimes I find it a little bit distracting.
I hear your breath.
But nevertheless, I mean, he is an immensely talented actor who, to be fair, really sometimes helps to elevate some truly wrong-headed films.
My name is Khan.
Oh my god. So yeah, I like the casting of Cumberbatch. I like the trailers. The trailers for this film make it look really unlike just about any other Marvel Cinematic Universe film that's come before. It looks really head-spinningly trippy. So you know what? Enough chit-chat from me. I'm off to the cinema. I'm going to screen this bad boy with my good buddy Steve, and I will be back with a review. Hey gang, we just got out of Doctor Strange. Yes, I think it's safe to assume that this was substantially better than the made-for-cable television movie from the 1970s.
Will the forces of evil conquer the forces of good on Earth? Doctor Strange, a special 2-hour presentation. Wednesday, September 6th at 8/7 Central and Mountain.
Just by a hair.
Just by a hair. I just wanted to introduce everyone back to Steve Barrs, my good friend of many years. Steve Barrs,
hey,
you may remember him from our infamous Independence Day Resurgence review.
So independent.
So independent. I seem to recall you professing your undying love for Liam Hemsworth.
I liked Liam Hemsworth.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Diet Coke Thor.
He was one of the handsomest men in the movie. Oh, he was handsome as fuck.
Yes. Is Liam Hemsworth as big of a chunk of sexy man candy as the Cumberbatch?
Well, I am an avowed Cumberbitch, so I'm going to have to say, sorry, Liam, but you've been overtaken.
Yeah, because...
although the accent he used in this movie...
It's strange. Maybe. Who am I to judge?
Is not as sexy as his normal accent.
No, not at all.
I'm not sure that was the right choice.
But still, I wouldn't kick the Cumberbatch out of my theater seat next to me for eating popcorn.
No.
Mm-mm. So, Doctor Strange, Steve. So, for anyone that's maybe been, I guess, living under a proverbial rock and doesn't know anything about Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange, this is the 14th Marvel Cinematic Universe film. And it's pretty amazing when you think about it. Yeah. All you really need to know is this. The Cumberbatch plays Doctor Strange. Stephen Strange, who is this brilliant yet
Oh, I thought his name was Mr. Doctor.
Mr. Doctor.
Mr. Doctor, it's strange. Maybe. Who am I to judge?
That's a really good joke. There's a running gag in the film where people just don't want to seem to call him Doctor Strange, and he has to keep correcting them. And yes, that was one of the better ones. But nevertheless, he is this brilliant yet really arrogant, probably like Tony Starkian arrogant at times.
Even more arrogant.
Maybe
than Tony
more.
Stark.
I think he's almost a bit of an asshole too compared to Tony. So, brilliant surgeon, does things by his own rules, and let's just say that he has an incredibly bad accident befall him. And I think the moral of this film is don't drive while looking at your smartphone. That's true. This film is like one big 2-hour PSA for distracted phone use in a car.
Yeah.
So he basically loses his ability to use his hands, and then in a series of plot machinations, a little too complicated to get into, he decides to train in the mystical and ancient art.
As any injured doctor would do.
As any injured, arrogant surgeon would, in magic, to combat evil forces. One of them played by Hannibal himself, Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh, that's true.
That's right.
In his defense, he doesn't go searching to become a magician. He goes searching for a way to heal his hands.
That's right.
You think you know how the world works? You think that this material universe is all there is. But what if I told you the reality you know is one of many?
Right, because he is an arrogant prick, and he pretty much wants to heal his hands so he can go back to his practice and, make shit tons
of being
of money.
The best doctor in the world.
That's right, but he has an epiphany like all characters do in these origin superhero films. But we don't want to give away too much.
Through the mystic arts, we harness energy and shape reality.
So, Steve, I'm going to pass the baton to you, and I'm going to ask you, what did you like about Doctor Strange, right off the cuff?
I love the way it looked, obviously. It was just made to be marveled at.
Marveled
no
at?
Pun intended. Hi-yo. Just brilliant scenery.
Yeah.
I really like Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One. I never would have thought to see a good action performance from Tilda Swinton.
Would you agree that the finest visual effect in the film is how they managed to make the Asian Ancient One look remarkably like Tilda Swinton?
This doesn't make any sense.
Not everything has to, Doctor Strange.
They did rejig the story to make her Celtic in origin rather than Asian.
Oh, so whitewashing aside,
little whitewashing.
She's good. I liked her.
Yeah,
but keep going.
Obviously, Benedict Cumberbatch was at his Cumberbatchiest.
Cumberbatchiest.
How did you become a doctor?
Study and practice. Here's the bit.
Yeah, I think we need to hashtag that.
Yeah.
And charge 25 cents for every time it's used in social media.
Can you charge for hashtags?
We should.
Yeah. As he shows in Sherlock, he can play an arrogant asshole like nobody's business.
Yeah. What didn't you like, Steve, about Doctor Strange?
Well, I didn't like his accent.
Okay. It seemed to drift here and there. I don't know.
It definitely went in and out. When he was less accenty, it was better.
Right.
When he tried too hard for that New York accent, it wasn't so good.
Searching for it a little bit. What else?
Action was great. Really good. Like, the CG was obviously CG because there's no magic in the world, sadly.
What?
Or in my heart.
My heart is broken.
But,
I will not sleep tonight now because I thought there was real magic in the world.
But it didn't seem CG-ish.
It didn't draw needle.
Even though it was obviously...
Yeah, I think that's a good point. the visual effects are so good and immersive that they don't really, subconsciously that you're watching computer-generated imagery, but it's you're so enveloped in them that you're not even thinking about it after a while, so...
Yep, I bought his emotional journey from being an arrogant asshole to being an arrogant asshole who cares.
Goes along a lot of obligatory lines for these types of movies, though. But nevertheless, it works because you end up caring about a character that you really probably shouldn't have any business in caring, at least at the beginning of the film.
Yeah, and they start out really hard, making him not a likable character.
Exactly,
and
that's good.
He doesn't shift from asshole to nice guy.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that they didn't try to make him nice by the end of the movie
they didn't
necessarily. He was still someone you were rooting for, but he wasn't oh, I've changed everything. Now I'm a brand new guy.
I'm a brand new guy.
There's a strength to him.
But is he ready?
Yeah, I like the fact that they didn't really sugarcoat the Doctor Strange character and try to make him more palpable and tolerable to audiences. Yeah, he's a jerk in the beginning of this movie, I gotta say. And yeah, he still has that sort of that cynical edge at the end, but even after he's changed his ways, so to speak. You know, one thing I did really love about the film, like you were alluding to earlier, was like this film is like a visual, technical masterpiece. Like, I mean, it is...
a smorgasbord for the eyes?
It is a smorgasbord for the eyes. And it's... This is one of the rare films that I would go completely out of my way to recommend. You need to see it on as big of a screen as possible. And heaven help me for saying this, Steve, you have to see this in 3D.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Because I am not an advocate for 3D typically at all, but I think when 3D is used like this film to delineate, you know, background and foreground space, it just sort of enhances the whole experience.
Totally.
But the 3D is not so headache-inducing and obtrusive to the point where you're leaving the theater feeling completely disoriented.
Yeah, I don't think they used any like 3D coming at you effects.
No.
But the 3D looked really good in all of the kind of world-bending stuff that they did.
It was subtle and complimentary, which I really, really liked.
Peering through time.
I think Cumberbatch was paradoxically kind of the best and the worst thing in this movie. I just you know, he's a great actor. He is really good at immersing himself in roles, but like you said, there were times when he kind of drifted in and out of accent. I think he is a very theatrical and flamboyant actor, and sometimes you could easily make the claim that he's a little sometimes too showy for his own good.
My name is Khan.
Despite the fact that he kind of outacts most people that occupy scenes with him. So he certainly has a presence. I would love to see him play off of like a Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark, for example. I think that would be
see
just
that in one of the more team-up-y Marvel movies.
Yeah, like that would
imagine.
be a collision of performance egos that I think would be fantastic. So, but yeah, I think he made a good Doctor Strange. He certainly looked like Doctor Strange.
He looked exactly like what I think Doctor Strange looks like.
Yeah, and
Looking for you.
he certainly is not cut from the same cloth as so many other Marvel Cinematic Universe heroes. So I like that. I also like that this film didn't look and feel like any other Marvel Cinematic Universe film. Like when you consider the MCU, there is like a through line with all of them. There is some semblance of symmetry with them all. This felt like a completely separate entity, even though it had like Easter eggs to the other MCU films, because obviously you have to kind of conjoin them all together to form a meaningful whole. But I just like the fact that the director, Scott Derrickson, which is kind of a good choice for this film because he has sort of a horror background. Kind of the last person you would think of to direct a big, near $200 million budgeted superhero epic like this.
Oh, for sure.
But he does a really good job of helping to segregate this film from a very crowded MCU pack. And I really like that.
Thor, I guess, was a little on the magic-y side, but really more like period.
And by
Norse-y.
Thor, you mean Chris Hemsworth, not the Diet Coke Thor that is Liam Hemsworth.
Yeah, exactly. The
man you
real
love.
Hemsworth.
Yes. It actually kind of takes me to another problem that I did kind of have with the film, and that is that the film is very expositionally heavy. So it has to explain a lot of mythology and a lot of the rules. And
I don't believe in fairy tales about chakras or energy or the power of belief.
And even at times I thought it a little convoluted, like I was trying to figure out like, how do people not notice these things that are happening in the city? Are they in another hemisphere of reality? So normal people like you and me don't see them. So there were instances in the film where I was kind of like, I'm a little confused. Do people see all these sorcerers going at each other?
There was some...
I can't do this. There is no other way.
But there was a lot of like explanations that were kind of dictated at us that in one dimension people couldn't see it, and it's convoluted and confusing in my opinion.
It certainly could be.
Mads Mikkelsen, brilliant actor, really
for sure.
charismatic. He has a lot of presence in this film.
Yep.
But the character as a whole kind of lacking, a little underdeveloped. One weakness that you find with a lot of the MCU films, with the exception of Loki, is that he's kind of a forgettable and disposable villain. Like, let's be honest.
In pain. You'll die protecting this world.
I didn't really understand his motivation for why he wanted to do what he was doing.
Jaded student.
Yeah.
Let's just say
but
that.
It just seems that's a little...
It's been there, done that.
A little been there, done that.
I think if there's an area of concern with the MCU is that they really have to address their antagonists that they put in these standalone films, because, I mean, Loki's a great antagonist.
Yep.
Loved him, but most of the ones we've seen recently, it's kind of like, I'm not thinking about them a week after I see the film. But beyond that, I think Doctor Strange is a really good, solid, standalone superhero film.
Yep.
Completely unlike anything else that we've seen in the other standalone MCU films. Cumberbatch, despite that wonky accent, really good as a title character, and absolutely remarkable visual effects and spectacle. Again, see this on the big screen.
Definitely worth a watch.
That's our review of Doctor Strange. Call him Doctor Strange, or he will get upset.
It's strange. Maybe. Who am I to judge?
Let us know in the comments below what you thought of the film. Let us know in the comments what you thought of the Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. Let us know what you think of this film in relation to the other MCU films. Once again, thank you very much for watching. If you could like this video, I'd appreciate it. If you could hit that big red subscribe button on my channel, that would mean the world to me. Thank you very much, Steve Bars, for joining me for this review. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you all at the movies.
Cheerio.